Hey Blumhouse, we need to talk. It really wasn't so long ago that I considered you to be on the forefront of helping to restore the horror genre to its rightful place as a popular form of entertainment that made good business sense, but didn't lose track of its exploitation roots. There's very little question that at that time, when you were producing Paranormal Activity, Insidious, and creating new franchises, that you were a force for good. You were creating rather than repeating in an industry that had grown really used to simply washing, rinsing, and repeating. You were the good guys. You introduced the world to The Purge and Oculus and Sinister. I didn't love everything that you were putting out, but I tended to respect all of it. And yes, I fell out of love with the Paranormal Activities pretty quickly, but you were always on the side of pushing the genre in the right direction. So what the hell happened? In 2018, I began to see cracks in the foundation of the company. Yes, I liked Insidious: The Last Key, but there's no denying that it felt like a later sequel in a franchise. And then there were things like Truth or Dare, which not only dared people to watch it, but lost that bet. The first Purge felt like a prequel to a series that didn't need to go the prequel route yet. And then there was Halloween. I know a lot of people like the film, but the hype is gone for it now, and so is a lot of the excitement. While people are hopeful that the next two installments you've announced are going to blow their socks off, I think a fair assessment of that first Halloween from Blumhouse is not a glowing review. It has lots of problems, and worse, from the company that was always pushing forward, it was a solid look over the shoulder. Follow that up with Black Christmas, and we start to see a company that is intent to find its place in the past instead of the future. And that brings us to Fantasy Island. I wasn't initially one to discount the entire idea of taking a beloved, though not truly memorable, 80s long-running drama and turning it into a horror series. There were scary episodes of the original series that I vaguely remember, but Fantasy Island is the kind of thing that everyone knows, but no one really wants to revisit. So it was always a weird fit, but weird can work, and it could have been a creative exercise with someone who had a hot take that no one else had come up with, and it could have really been the surprise hit of the year. I went into the movie theater already hearing some negative things and reading some pretty bad reviews, but I don't always agree with reviewers, and sometimes I don't agree with the masses. So I walked in expecting to find a film that at the very least I enjoyed watching for its runtime. My fantasy didn't come true. Fantasy Island is an incoherent mess that looks like a streaming show's pilot episode. It's so consistently bad that Michael Rooker sleepwalks through it and Kim Coates pretends he's in a better film. The leads are all awful. Even Maggie Q, who's such a great talent, she's far too capable for this dreck. The editing at times is head-scratchingly random. And the lighting and camera work reminded me of those insurance commercials that kind of pretend to be real movies. Overall, the film just didn't have anything very compelling for its entire runtime. And yeah, there's some actors that are fun to watch on screens, but they all look either disinterested or cashing a paycheck here. The special effects are nothing special. It is a PG-13 rated film, which isn't the kiss of death for something based on a television series, but it also eliminates the potential for any exploitation thrills that might have actually elevated the material. So is this where we're going, Blumhouse? Are we going to make these types of movies? Are we going to just ply on nostalgia from here on out and do so in the most rote, basic ways? If so, maybe it's time for us to stop the conversation about Blumhouse as anything more than any of the production studios out there. We used to think that they had horrors back, but if the last year has been any indication, it doesn't seem like that's the case. 2018 was a shaky year. 2019, in my opinion, was pretty awful. 2020 has just begun for this company, and they have a number of releases lined up. I'm going to see all of them, because I see everything I can in the genre. But I can't help but have this sinking feeling that the better days for the Blumhouse movement are behind us. So I want to thank you for the good times we've had. And I want to thank you for reinstalling the idea that a small budget, smart, capable advertising and a level of quality could equal theatrical releases in the genre that could make money, build fans, and actually help restore some of the luster that the genre used to enjoy. But I think we've grown in separate ways, and I've spent too many nights on your couch at this point. You see, I've met this new company named A24, and they're doing all the things that you used to do for me. They make me feel the way I used to feel about you. And even better, they're a little bit smarter and better looking than you. Now, I'm open to getting back together down the road if you can pull your shit together. But right now, it just feels like there's nowhere for us to go. Certainly not to an island that can't fulfill even my most basic fantasy.